Hey, I'm Brett Allen, staff writer for ReviewFix.com, and we're not reviewing one title today, but we're reviewing a type of book. We're going to review foreign language reference books. It's real exciting. That may sound strange. Why would you need foreign language books? And there's actually a lot of reasons. I would, like most people, I'm in history, I'm in airplanes, stuff like that, and for guys who are into modeling, airplanes, history, you're going to notice that for some subjects there's a total lack of English information. You just can't get any books on these things, any particular planes, battles, whatever. There's just nothing out there, or they're really, really, really old, and it's all outdated info. It's no good. So I noticed on a bunch of different websites that sell modeling and stuff like that, they had all these foreign language books, and they were selling really well, and they looked really pretty. So I took the plunge, and the first one I bought was this title. I don't actually even know what it's called. It's not in English whatsoever, but it's a photo history of the Japanese Navy in this instance. And the beauty of these things is, even though you can't really gain any information unless you can read the language, let me see if we can get a shot. There is a multitude of pictures and artwork that is just far, far, far surpasses anything released in this country. So even if you're like me and you cannot read a lick of Japanese, the drawings and the artwork and just the pictures and everything else alone are well worth the investment. It costs about $30, and again, it's actually cheaper. Even when you can get some of the stuff in English, it's a huge, giant specialty work, and it runs nearly $100, and not all of us have $100,000 to go drop on one reference book, particularly if you're not really into this. This is the beauty of these books. If you're into the topic, but not hardcore, you just kind of want to learn up, these are actually really good. Then there's kind of another thing that's similar, another book in Japanese. But, and here's something I wasn't aware, a lot of these books, while the main titles, this one here is about the 244th Fighter Squadron in Japan, Tokyo Defenders, excellent book. Now the great thing about this book is, while the main text is in Japanese, let me get a good shot here. For every caption, it's basically a photo journal. For every Japanese caption, there's an English caption. So this is even more valid for the fact that 90% of the book is in English. Here's another thing about these Japanese produced books and other foreign produced books. I'm going to later show you that they're not all from Japan, but they tend to have photos that they're not from the American National Archives, which tends to be very heavy in most U.S. produced books. Most of the pictures in this book, for instance, is something like 70 photos that were never published before this book. So these books are also worth the investment, just for the fact that, there we go, not only are the photos amazing, they're not anywhere else. So unless you buy this book, you're not going to be able to see these pictures. So again, this book is loaded with really good photos, pilot biographies, pictures. Some of the pictures, like this one is common in America, but normally it's not produced this well. It's also got, for the modelers and everyone out there, it's got really nice color plates of the various aircraft of the squadron. All good stuff. There's a beginning section with colorized photos. This book was a mail order from Japan. It's ran about $34, and it's definitely worth every penny. They also made 2 follow-ons to this book about other fighter squadrons in Japan. Now, the other thing, and this is a company that's really hot, really big company. It's actually from Poland. They're called Kagero, which don't ask me, but they're from Poland and they're similar. Now, while I'm showing you a lot of Japanese-oriented stuff today, Kagero has a very extensive catalog. The Japanese titles are actually not their biggest thing. They have American, if you're looking into American aspects, American planes, tanks, battles, they have German, American, everything. But we got the Japanese stuff that's what we're working with. So, again, nice little small booklets. These run about $20 each. These are great too, because these tend to be on individual squadrons. So while these are here, you got the 64th and 68th Sentai. These were individual units. Nothing in English about this. There's some works that cover this stuff, but not in any detail. It's mostly a paragraph. So while up until this point you got a paragraph, now you have an entire book. And most of these units, it's a funny thing, their reputation precedes them. A lot of people, if you're into Japanese aviation, you know about this. but there's not a whole lot. Now the interesting thing about these books is the left side pages are in Polish and the right side pages are in English. So again, a little interesting thing out there. I was a little apprehensive when I got them, but they're really, really good. The translations are pretty good. There are some awkward sentences. They're not the, how do I put this? They're not the worst thing in the world to read. They're not the best. The information is solid. What I mean by best, it's not about the quality of the work. It's just the English is very dry sometimes, and that's because the translator was, I don't know, I guess not the best person to get, but they're definitely worth the money. For 20 bucks, this is more information than you could possibly get. All the titles in this series, whether they're Japanese, German, whatever, come with a nice little color fold out in the center. Reversed on both sides. The other one has it as well. Now these are just about aircraft. They cover all kinds of stuff. They cover aircraft, armored vehicles, ships. They have some larger titles that I have not read, but I've heard nothing but good things about. And again, the larger titles are good, and these are good because it's obscure stuff. If again, you want to expand beyond the realm of the only 8 or 9 books you can find on Amazon, this is the place to go. So again, really good pictures. They're a little small here, but again, not stuff that's overly common in U.S. and British publications. So again, just for the photos and color plates, they're worth the money. But the information is very good. And again, if you want to get the German or Japanese or Italian side of events and not just the U.S. British-oriented history, this is the way to go. Like I said, this company, Kagero, they also make some larger works. Kagero. And again, they tend to be on obscure subjects. They have individual volumes on ships, stuff like that. Again, doesn't exist in English. Those are a little bit more money. I think those are going anywhere in the 40s, 50s, 60s. They don't stay in print very long. So I would also suggest when you find this stuff, you can find it on eBay. There's other, the big importers like HobbyLink Japan, those places. That's the place to go. eBay is a really good place to find them. Amazon, not so much for some reason. The used booksellers tend to charge an arm and a leg. If you see a particular title on Amazon you can afford, get it, because they don't last. They do reprint them, but it's very sporadic. So if you want it now, not whenever they decide to reprint it, jump. So that is our brief look on foreign language books today. And again, the whole purpose is to show you that you don't always have to spend $80, $90 on a larger source that may not have exactly what you want. Or if it's the case of some of these, like the ship book here, if you just want a little knowledge on the topic that's beyond what's available, either pictures or otherwise, this is the way to go. $40 investment, and as far as oddball pictures and colors is basically all you can want. So that's a look on foreign books today. So we're going to be continuing, hopefully more of my reviews on other history books and such stuff. But stick here to see more. ReviewFix.com. You want your fix, you got it.